Hi, everybody. I wanted to talk a little bit today about the difference between spiritual and emotional love, and also a little bit about unconditional love and the meaning of unconditional love. And I was just thinking about there's a really great title called How to Be an Adult by David Richo, and it's a handbook on psychological and spiritual integration. And I wanted to just read a little bit from this book. And he has kind of created these, I don't know if you would call them affirmations or not, but just statements on unconditional love. And they're in the back on page 110. So this is the front of the book, How to Be an Adult by David Richo. I just wanted to read like the first 5 lines. And it says, love is our finest human grace. Number 2, it is unconditioned by expectation, neediness, or the desire to change, control, or rescue anyone. The third one, love lets go. It never clings or controls. Number 5, it takes nothing away from us. It multiplies when we share it. And there's so many more of them. Love and we are just one miracle. Whatever is true about love is true about each of us. And so I think that this is really powerful to be in a conversation about, because it's interesting just to think about what are the conditions that I have on my loving, what are the conditions I have on my giving love and on my receiving love. They're probably very different, maybe not, but I just think it's such an interesting thing for us to be thinking about. I've been rereading again, I don't know, the 4th time. Now, Bell Hook's All About Love, New Visions. And one of the things that she talks about is she talks about that we want to start living from a love ethics, place of love ethics, and which are care, commitment, trust, responsibility, respect, knowledge in our everyday lives. We want to be experiencing those things. And do we give care, and do we have commitments that are meaningful? Do we experience trust in our lives with ourselves and in our relationships? Can we be responsible? Can we give and respond with ability to the people that we're committed to? Can we also acknowledge the people that we love and that we care about? So one of the things she also says is that love is the process of nurturing yourself, right? Which is something that Scott Peck, she quotes him in her book about, Scott Peck says that, Scott Peck says that, love is the process of nurturing yourself and others. And I don't even know that we know necessarily what nurturing is or nurturing is about anymore, but it is the process of nurturing ourselves and others. And so she talks about the 7 components of real love. The 7 components of real love. So care, affection, recognition, respect, commitment, trust, and honest and open communication. Honesty and open communication. So the 7 components of real love: care, affection, recognition, respect, commitment, and trust, honest and open communication. So if we think about unconditional love, I really like what David Richo also talks about. How do I give myself unconditional love? Do I have a bunch of ways that I have a difficult time doing that? Because what he says that we want to channel every experience that we have into creating more love in the universe. And how can we channel every experience that we have into creating more love in the universe? So this is one of the important questions that we can ask ourselves. Another important question that we can ask ourselves around unconditional love, in addition to, what are the conditions on my loving, and where am I unconditionally loving? Where do I have conditions on my loving, the giving and the receiving of it? In addition to that, what we can also do is we can look at, how do I express my love? How do I communicate my love? Do the people that I love know that I love them? One of the things that we'll do often is the people that we love, the people that we can really count on, we often take for granted. And so who are the people that I can count on, and am I able to really give gratitude and extend thanks and gratitude to the people that I care about, and that care about me, not just for me, but that really show their love to me through these these seven these seven components of real love that Bell Hooks talks about in her work. So, what is the difference between spiritual and emotional love? Spiritual love has a component of the divine, of the sacred, of something greater than me. So, what are the ways that I can access something that is greater than me, something that loves so much, something that loves more than love, and um, that there is this overarching belief or overarching knowledge or trust that someone cares for us and is taking care of us and is with us, uh, holding us through all things, and that support is there for us and is totally unconditional. Like there's nothing that we can do to not receive that being's love. And you can see it however you want to see it. You can see it, your greater power or this divinity could be the sky, it could be the trees, it could be the birds, it could be um, any of the deities. There are many gods in the world, and they go by many different names, but they are all connected to something that is sublime, divine, and able to really care for and has created all things, but also deeply cares about all the things that have been created. And so it is a spiritual love is a way to acknowledge that there is some greater love that is not only coming to us, but also that is coming through us. And so this greater love that we have access to is something that we can tap into and that we can give to others, that we can give to our community, that we can access for our own healing and for our own well-being, that we can have a relationship with this being that helps us to access an unconditional love. And then emotional love, is really body based, and it's based on being a human being or on having a body. All creatures are beings with a body that comes from the heart. And emotional love is a way that the body can express its love, and the way that the body expresses its love is, or if we have love in our body for someone, is through connection, is through acknowledgement, is through appreciation, is through our ability to really communicate through our words and through affection in really healthy, loving ways. Our ability to bring our regard and care and love to someone through our connection and through being together. Also, it's something that we do even if we can't be together. We're thinking of the person, we're letting them know that we're thinking about them. Unspoken words of love don't really do anyone any good. So when we love people, we want to let them know however we can. So maybe it's a note, maybe it's a letter, something I'm a poet, so I will often write a poem for the people that I cherish and that I love. And I also think about, so with love, with spiritual love and emotional love, how can those two things work together, right? Because love isn't easy. Love is often very difficult, and it's difficult sometimes to come to someone that we really love, especially if we're having a difficult time with something or with a situation, especially if we're having those feelings about the person that we cherish. How to bring those things to that person, especially because often we'll have a fear of loss, especially around people that we deeply cherish, love, and care about. So what we want is we want to be able to, have those conversations that aren't so easy. But one of the ways that we can do that is by accessing this other strength that is beyond our strength, or that is beyond our capacity, and that strength and that divinity, that support, especially if we have that trust with something that is greater than us, can really help us to have whatever conversations we need to have. But key is in a way that it can be received and heard. Because oftentimes we don't always say things in a way that can be received and heard. So uh, there's also this ability to say things in a way that can be received and heard. So, how do I leave a legacy of love? What are some of the ways that I can be working with these 7 components of real love from Bell Hooks? How can I express my care? How can I give my affection in ways that are healthy and in ways that feel really good to me and the other people around me? How can I give and receive recognition in a way that is deeply authentic? How can I express respect and extend honor and respect? And what are the commitments that I've made, and how can I honor my commitments and make commitments that are meaningful to me, and not make commitments that are not meaningful or and that don't enrich my life? And then trust. How can I extend my trustworthiness into the life of another and in my own world and in my own life? And honesty and open. How can I express my honesty, and how can I have open communication? Those are the ways that we can have and utilize a love ethic in our own world and in the greater world. Thank you so much. And just some things to think about and to bring our love to the situation. How can we make a choice that can bring love to the situation instead of pain or fear? How can I bring love to the situation? Well, maybe by doing one of these 7 things that access that divinity or access that strength that is available to us all of the time. And I wish you a really lovely week, and I will see you next Thursday.